Drew McIntyre started the show. He gets on the mic, and while he's talking, he gets interrupted by Priest, JD, and Finn of the Judgment Day. Priest hops on the mic and tells Drew, "We're heading to your territory, and I'ma put you down." Drew tells him, "Hope you enjoyed your time with the title, because this Saturday it's mine." Then Priest puts Finn in a match with Drew later on tonight. If Finn wins, the Judgment Day will be ringside for their match on Saturday. If Drew wins, the Judgment Day are banned from ringside. Then we get Io Sky versus Lyra. Eventually Sky would do a roll-up and would get the win with the assist of Dakota. Then after the match, Damage Control attacks Lyra. Then Carter and Chance comes down to the ring to help. Then we get a 6-man tag team match. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee and Braun Strowman versus JD, Dom, and Carlito of the Judgment Day. Later on in the match, Liv Morgan comes out and Dom tells her to leave. Vega hits Liv off the apron and she lands on Dom. Eventually, Vega would pull Liv off and start brawling with her. Eventually, Dragon Lee would pick up the win for his team. Sami Zayn comes down to the ring. He gets on the mic and says this Saturday he's going to take care of Chad Gable. But then he gets interrupted by Chad Gable. Eventually, it would lead on to a one-on-one match, Otis versus Sami. Sami eventually would hit his finish and would get the win. After the match, Chad would attack Sami and then tell Maxine and Tozawa to leave the ring. Then tells Otis to hit Sami, but Otis doesn't, so Chad starts smacking Otis, but then Otis starts beating up Sami. Then Otis thinks about hitting Chad too, but he chooses not to and walks away. Then we get a tag team match, Baszler and Stark versus Fire and Dawn. Eventually Baszler would get the win for her team. Then we get Dragunov versus Breaker. Eventually Breaker would get the win. Then after the match, he goes to spear Dragunov through the barricade, but Ricochet saves him. Then we get a tag team match for the World Tag Team Championships, Awesome Truth versus AOP. Later on in the match, Woods and Kofi would come out and would attack Cross at ringside, allowing The Miz to do a roll-up and get the win for his team to retain the World Tag Team Championships. Then we get a backstage brawl between Ricochet and Breaker. It would lead to Breaker putting Ricochet through a windshield. Then we get a one-on-one match, Drew McIntyre versus Finn. Eventually, Drew would hit a Claymore and would get the win. After the match, Drew and Priest would go face-to-face. Raw was okay.